Welcome to the weekend video. This is Enda here from bullwaves.org. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm going to go through the markets from, if you're new here, it's from an Elliott wave perspective, more or less, that I like to view things. And apart from that, sit down, sit back, enjoy the show. Get over to bullwaves.org and check out membership if you're interested. Okay. And welcome to all those who are tuning in every night on the website. And I want to thank you. And let's just get down to this. Less rambling, less talky, more action. Okay, this is euro dollar. This is the hourly chart. We'll go to the 4-hour. I usually start in the 4-hour chart. I'm tracking this ABC pattern down. I'm not sure we are there yet. And it looks like today's action is confirming that. 3 waves down, most likely in wave C of a triangle wave D. So I have been, I have been kind of hoping for a target somewhere around 115 to complete this 3-wave pattern lower, and then work on a 3-wave pattern higher in wave E. But I'm not quite sure whether we'll get there or not. But even at a minimum, a break of 117 would be good. That would break the wave A low, and then we would probably prepare for a reversal higher into wave E. So let's get into the hourly chart here. Let's look what the patterns have developed, or how the patterns have developed this week. Now, it's been I was going to say a pain of a week, but really it's been such a slow 2 months at least. They do say sell in May and go away, or I suppose that's the stock market. But in general, euro dollar has been flat, oscillating around 118, more or less 118, 118.50 for the last 2 months solid. Sorry, well, a month and a half anyway, since the middle of June. So what date have we got here? We've got say between the 15th, let's say about the 18th of June, we hit a low, and we've just been oscillating around that 118 level ever since. Okay, I think we could. This pattern has developed obviously over the last few weeks. I contemplated a triangle earlier on this week, and I'll show you why. I was thinking that maybe we were oscillating in some sort of triangle before we head down into wave 5, but that didn't materialize because we spiked higher out of, we broke the previous high. So, you go back here. We broke the previous high at 118.40, so that ruled out the triangle. And then we switched to an expanded flat for wave 4. So this is wave 4 of 5 of C. You can see wave 5 of C of D down there. So if this is wave 4 as an expanded flat, then you would look for 5 waves up in wave C, and then a reversal to begin 5 waves down in wave 5. So there's a possibility that we have a reversal today after we broke the previous wave A high. We may have 5 waves up. There is a disparity, obviously, between the length of the wave 4 and the length of the wave 2. So while the pattern works, in ideal either, I would like to see a break of initially that wave 1 low there. Another break of 118 again should signal that wave 5 is underway. So next week I'll be looking for 5 waves down to begin in wave 5 of C of D. And if this trend channel is filled, we will get down towards that 115 area. But the minimum target obviously is a break of 117 again. So let's see how that works out. Okay, so pound dollar. I actually did switch to this alternate account this week, so I should update the wave count here. So we're looking at a 5-wave pattern lower in wave 1, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 waves down in wave 1. A nice impulsive rally, well, a nice sharp rally, let's call it this week. And something very interesting happened today. Last night I introduced the idea that maybe we had hit a high as a three-wave pattern, but that's yet to be confirmed yet. But it is interesting that we broke the previous fourth wave. We hit a significant Fibonacci number, and then we reversed today. So let's get into the hourly chart. Looking at this 1-2 pattern down, you can see wave 3, 4, and 5 down into wave 1 of at 135.72. So we got you spread a Fibonacci grid on from the highs and the lows. You get 62% retracement in around 139.90. We hit a high early today at 138.82, and we spiked lower. Now this is not ironclad. Obviously, we need to fall in 5 waves. We need wave 1 to break the previous wave below, so we've got to break 137.20, let's say. Or if we fell in 5 waves into about 137, that would be a pretty heavy signal that we were going to begin a third wave down. But next week, if we get a 1-2 pattern develop next week, that will be very interesting for a kind of a longer term pump to the downside in pound dollars. So I'll be looking for that 1-2 pattern by midweek next week. We'll see how this holds. We had a target band there between 2 previous fourth waves that gave us a high, and now we have a spike. Anyway, we have a spike lower to begin with this evening. Sorry. We'll see how that goes. It's afternoon, I think, over in the US right now. So there's still a good few hours. There's still 4 more hours in the official session. So we'll see how today's trade plays out. It would be very interesting if we fell for the rest of the day, and if we trace 5 waves down in wave 1 early next week. Let's see how that goes. Okay, dollar yen. Contemplating this alternate count here. I had switched this a couple of weeks ago. The main count shows an A, B, C expanded flat correction. Now, something interesting is happening over the last couple of days, and I will show you on the short-term chart. But the fact that we fell so far in 3 waves, I mean, it could be a WXY complex correction in a second wave. That'd be a series of 3s. That'd be 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, to differentiate it from a normal, let's say, flat or zigzag pattern. We do have the possibility of a 1-2 pattern building off that last week's low, let's say. So let's get into the hourly count. This is, for the moment, this is still the alternate count, but let's see how that. Let's see what way that is kind of splitting out today. Here you can see the alternate wave 2 low. So we have that recent high back at early July. We did fall in 3 waves. Now, the main count is still calling for 5 waves down in that larger C wave. So if you go back to the 4-hour count here, you can see wave C is projected towards or below 107.44. So 107 for wave C of 2 to complete. That's the main, let's say, outlook, and that's not being ruled out at all just yet. But I am just raising this possibility here. If this is a wave 1 and a wave 2 building here, then you would expect a wave 1 and 2 off that wave 2 low. So we have a solid low at 109.06. That is a very important level in terms of both wave counts. If this level breaks, 109.06 breaks again, then we can expect a fall into about 107 for wave C to complete. If this 109.06 holds and we push higher again to break 110.59, so that's 109.06 and 110.59, then we will have to, I think, switch to the bullish alternate count, and I think we could be in for a major run up in dollar yen and probably across the board in the dollar, to be honest. Okay, so that is something to keep your eyes out for next week. That critical high there at 110.59 and a critical low here at 109.06. So keep your eyes peeled on that. For the meantime, watch out for this third wave down. If we continue lower and we break 109.06, then the main count is pretty much confirmed, and we can head lower into 107. Okay, I'm sorry if I confused you there. Let's see how this goes. Okay, stock market. Again, I'm looking for that C wave high to close out. I'm going to show you a cluster of targets that I have been kind of nursing over the last week or so, and that lies it stems from, say, the Fibonacci relationships within the waves here of this ending diagonal. Fifth wave, wave 5 in blue, is the ending diagonal that I'm counting here. So we have 3 waves up in 1, 3 waves up down in 2, ABC up in wave 3, ABC down in wave 4, and then ABC up in wave 5 is what I'm tracking right now. Okay, so the important part here is this ABC pattern within wave 5 of 5. Okay, so if we take the length of wave 1, which is denoted by this Fibonacci grid here, so I take the length of wave 1, we're projected from the wave 2 low. That gives us a target area of 34,870, let's say. We broke above that for the wave C high, or sorry, for the wave 3 high. So that gives us wave 3 being longer than wave 1 in the relationships. Only slightly, but longer by about 5% or so. Now, we take this very same Fibonacci grid, we extend it from the wave 4 low, and we project some targets for wave 5. So the first initial most interesting target is the 50% extension of wave 1 off the wave 4 low. That gives us a target of 35,646. Okay, so remember that call it 35,640, even though it's close, 35,650. And that marks the 50% of wave 1 relationship. Okay, so we're looking for ABC up and 35,650. Let's go to the RE chart and look at this final fifth wave up here. So we've got wave 4 low here, and the target is 35,650. You can see that target level is put in here, and that comes from the 4-hour count, and that comes from the 50% extension of wave 1 off the wave 4 low. So that wave 4 low here at 33,031. Now, we get a relationship here between wave A and wave C within the final wave 5. So we've got an ABC up in wave 5 as an ending diagonal, and we project the wave A length, and we take it the wave A length, and we project it from the wave B low, and that gives us a high projected for wave C at 35,560. So we've got Fibonacci, unrelated Fibonacci targets coming in very, very close together within 90 points. So over 35,006, over 35,650, 90 points ain't much of a margin. Now, 35,650 being the upper target there, and quite close to the wave C projection, would be the target right now. If we're getting a simple zigzag, we call it an expanded flat correction in wave B. So we've got 5 up in A, 3 down in B, and then 5 up in wave C. So we've got wave 1, 2, extension in wave 3. We seem to have some sort of triangle, I think, still extending today in wave 4, and that would suggest a rally in wave 5 to begin, later on today or on Monday, to complete 5 waves up. Now, I don't know if we're already complete here or if we will make that new high. It just is interesting that we have this cluster of fib targets within 90 points of each other, and we have a final C wave to track, which would probably track within this trend channel. It would probably track towards that 35,600 level anyway. So we could split the difference on that and then head lower. That'd be pretty sweet result from this suggestion here. Anyway, I think I've talked enough about the Dow. I think 3 waves up. Looking for that final high in wave C of 5, and we'll see again next week if we can look lower and we get some sort of impulsive move lower to draw the eye lower again. Okay, let's see how that goes. Okay, so I'm going into gold. Here is the 4-hour count in gold. The alternate account is still quite viable. I don't favor it, although the margins are close. So keep an eye on that alternate account here. This could still be a wave 1 and 2. Wave 4 could already be in, and this could be a wave 1 and 2 scenario building here, and then that would be a wave 1 and 2 off that low again. Now, I have not abandoned, let's say, the idea for a decline into that 1670 area again. The odds are creeping higher for the alternate account now, but just let's say it's got a corner of my mind, and I haven't just let go of this just yet. Okay, here's the hourly count. What I'm tracking, I should say what I'm tracking. I'm tracking this wave C lower here. Now, in general, this should be 5 waves lower, but if this is a WXY correction, it could easily be 3 waves lower. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, on the hourly count, you can see I've got a 4th wave. Again, I was toying with the idea of a triangle here over the last few weeks. Over the last few days, we got a nice kind of impulsive rally earlier on was that Wednesday? Thursday? No, was it? I can't remember. Anyway, Wednesday evening, I think we got this impulsive spike higher, and that kind of ruled out the idea of a triangle. You can see that triangle kind of built within that wedge formation there. Now we broke out out of that, so the idea reverted to a 3-wave pattern higher in wave 4, which should be followed by 1-2 pattern lower to begin wave 5 down. So next week, I would like to see wave 4 complete below 1855, and if it does, and if we move impulsively lower, let's say again back towards 1790 again, I think that'll pretty much seal the deal for wave 5 down, and we can expect a lower low for wave 4 in around that 1670, 1650 area. Okay, let's move on. Crude oil. We have the 4-hour count here. We ended up at 3 waves down in that recent sharp move lower, which suggested a 4th wave low. And so far, we're kind of tracking higher in 5 waves in wave 5. So wave 5 in blue is the idea here. Let's get into the hourly count here. You can see the wave 5 in blue idea fleshed out a little bit. So we've got wave 1, 2, extension wave 3. It could be a running flat wave 4, and then we're tracking higher again in wave 5. Wave 5 of 5 to complete a larger pattern. And this is a B wave high, so it should be followed by a long kind of drawn out C wave. Okay, let's see how this tracks, or let's see how this wave 5 in blue completes next week. We've got an initial target 76. Let's say call it 7650, and we'll see how the reaction of that level is again later on next week. Okay, so here is the S&P. Possibility of a wedge here, although this could still be like an expanding wedge, but it could still be a normal 5-wave pattern. I haven't kind of gone against that idea really. Yeah, I'm kind of, you can call that like a struggle between the two. If this is a 5-wave pattern here within wave 5, let's see how that would break out on the shorter term chart. But it would be something like wave 1 and 2 then a very large wave 1, expanded flat wave 2, wave 3, 4, and 5, and then a very sharp wave 4. The recent decline will be a very sharp wave 4, and then we are facing wave 5 again today. Okay, so either way, I think it's either a wedge or it's a normal 5-wave pattern with some pretty reasonable downside spikes, and you will notice that they come in very sharp and very quickly over the last while. Over the last couple of months, the downside has been vigorous when it did actually start. Obviously, the main impotence is or has been still to the upside, but that ends. When that ends, it goes down very, very hard. Okay, so let's get to the hourly chart here. I'm kind of tracking this expanding wedge diagonal pattern. So it's an ABC up in wave 1, ABC down in wave 2, ABC up in wave 3, ABC down in wave 4, and then maybe an ABC pattern tracking higher right now in wave 5. You can split hairs on this one. Both point to, let's say, if we took the normal 5-wave interpretation, this would still be the 4th wave low, and then we would be tracking a 5-wave move higher into wave 5 right now. So, it's betwixt and between. It's kind of like it's a little bit of a moot point, no matter which count is actually operating here. I think we still are likely to see one last spike towards that 4470 area. Towards that 4470 area to complete wave 5 of 5 of 5, and then we'll work lower again. Even if the main count is correct, or sorry, if the alternate count is correct here, we may even have the wave 5 high already in place. Okay, so very interesting times. Again, I mean, it's an interesting season in the stock market. I do not rule out a complete and utter collapse coming to October, November area. That could well be the case here. Okay, let's see how this tracks next week, and if we get an impulsive move lower, then we'll work to the downside again. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, silver. Not again. We're drawing close here to the end, but I'm not convinced we are at the end just yet. Okay, so I think we still need that decline towards 21 to complete this pattern, but we haven't got there yet. Looks like an expanded flat wave 2 of 5. We've got 5 waves down yet to complete in wave 5. So I've got wave 1 and 2, and possibility of a decline into wave 3 of 5 next week. So I'd say if we break below, even if we break below 25 again, that would be a serious hint towards the idea that we are beginning wave 3 of 5 now. Okay, I'll go into Bitcoin. I'll do coin. I did introduce this count a few weeks ago, and the idea is 5 waves down in wave A. We're tracking a very large ABC pattern down. The idea that we've got 5 waves down complete in A. You'd expect the 3 waves up in wave B, and then 5 waves further again to fall in wave C. So, is this B wave complete? That's the idea. A, B, C pattern up into wave B. I was suggesting that maybe we'd get a hit of that 40,000 level again before declining. I'm going to the hourly count, and we'll see what happened. We were looking at this trend channel here, and we would fill this, if this count was correct, we would fill the trend channel complete wave C of B. So you can see that we've got 3 waves up in A, 3 waves down in wave B, very convoluted 3 waves down, mind you, but 3 waves down nonetheless in wave B, higher low, draw the trend channel, suggest at least 37,000 or a break of, let's say, 36,550 in wave C, and we have a pretty impulsive 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Maybe we're done here. I'm not quite sure. you would need to see, I think, in order to confirm that this top is in place for wave B, I think we would need to see a decline, let's say back below 36,000 again. That would favor the idea that we would begin to track lower into a large C wave. Suffice to say, we have a three-wave pattern up complete. We did top just in around the previous fourth wave low, so that came in at 41,200. What was the highs this week? Came in at, let's say, 4,700. So within, $500 of the previous fourth wave high. We seem to have stalled so far. We'll see. There's no confirmation that this price has turned yet, but I think if we start to get a break of these previous interim highs here within wave B, the wave A high and the interim highs in wave B, that comes in 35.50, and then we've got 35,870, 34,650. So we've got a series of interim highs here to form an initial support. Let's see if those will break. If we get 5 waves down, some sort of an impulsive move lower, followed by a corrective lower high again, that would suggest that wave 1 of C is beginning. So keep your hat on there if that's the case next week. I think we've done enough to complete a C wave. So let's see if we can turn down again impulsively next week. Okay, I think that's it. I think I've raced through the the markets there. I want to thank you all for watching, and if you don't mind, read that little end screen there, the ABCs of salvation. If you want your ticket out of here, I could just feel it every week, closer and closer. They're coming for us. They're coming in hard on these vaccines. They're coming in hard on restrictions. Soon enough we're not going to be able to buy and sell without the mark. In a few, I think you could probably call that 3.5 years, 4 years time. This is a test case, but they are not your friends. For the moment, Jesus is still your friend. All you have to do is just, pledge your allegiance. It's the Pledge of Allegiance. Nobody has any problem pledging allegiance to flags and pledging allegiance to governments of this world, but everybody seems to have a problem pledging allegiance to the actual King of Kings. And at the end of the day, this is within this life, it's a spiritual war that's ongoing, for your soul, for your existence. It's a spiritual war that's happening. And, if you're old enough, if you've been around long enough, you will know that is true. Whether you believe my theology or not, that this life is a spiritual war, and within a war, you pledge allegiance to a side. Just make sure you pledge allegiance to the winning side, please, because we already know how this is going to play out. So, as Romans 10 says, if you believe in your heart and if you believe in your heart and confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, you will be saved, and that's that. That is basically a pledge of allegiance. Within a spiritual war, you are pledging your allegiance to the King, and the rest will go to hell. That's the way that'll go. Okay, and on that happy note, I bid you adieu, and I will see you next week. All being well, if I'm not gone from here. If I am, these words have even more significance for you. So, alrighty. God bless. Have a little think this weekend. Where does your allegiance lie? Bye-bye. See you tonight. Everybody on the website, I'll see you tonight. And next week, I'll see all you YouTube land again. God bless. Bye-bye.